If We Were in Love, Part 2. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. Artwork by Natalia, also known as Crowreeky Arts on Instagram. You can find a link to Natalia's Instagram in the description box below. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment in the comments section below. If you aren't sure what to comment, you can put, "This was a kissing moment." Now then, thank you for sticking around for part 2. If you haven't already enjoyed part 1, you can find a link to it in the description box. Oh, this hurt her brain. Marinette stared at herself in the mirror. Lipstick and mascara, blush and bronzer. She'd gone all out, but for what? Could she even transform into Ladybug wearing makeup? "Marinette," Tiki began, her hand pressed to her mouth. "Are you sure you want to do this?" Honestly, Marinette gave the mirror one last frog-mouth look and turned to her Kwame. "I have no idea." "Spots on?" "Spots on." Okay, a date with Cat Noir. Her idea. Yeah, she wasn't nervous at all. Not one bit. She totally wasn't wishing she hadn't transformed so she could talk this over with Tiki one last time. But she'd set a date, and she'd keep it. Ladybug made her way to the abandoned cathedral, already set up with candles and flowers and who knows what else, courtesy of Rena Rouge and Carapace. Clearly, they didn't have a problem doing it. Cat wasn't there yet, although Ladybug couldn't tell if that made her more or less nervous. Okay. Phew. You can do this, LB. It's just a date with a guy that you secretly love. Not like, love. Deeper than some schoolgirl crush. Hey. She jumped at Cat's voice, screaming louder than she'd cared to admit. Hey! Hi! She replied, giving a tight wave. Aren't I supposed to be the scaredy cat? She rolled her eyes before punching his bicep. Smarty pants. Nerd. They laughed and he gestured to the wide steps in front of what used to be an altar. I can't believe they're tearing this place down, Ladybug said, looking at the stained art surrounding them. It's only, 158 years old? It's no big deal. Doesn't make it any less beautiful. They were going to tear down Notre Dame as well until someone wrote fanfiction about it. It's also a beautiful cathedral. Ladybug was happy their conversation moved so smoothly. She wasn't sure going into this if she'd be able to not pull a Marinette. So, you invited me on a date, Cat said, staring at her with a smile as his hand cradled his face. He looked like a model, elbow propped on his knee with a casual yet intimate gaze. I did. I invited you on a date. Any reasons why? Because I wanted to go on a date with you. It was hard to not look away. Oh. His reply was soft, but his expression smug. Good. Me too. Why was it so hard to know what to do with her hands? Ladybug weaved her fingers together, looking down at her lap instead of her company. I owe you an apology, she said. An apology? His expression wasn't so smug anymore. his jawline lifting away from his palm.
For what?
Not asking you sooner? For not allowing herself to ask him sooner. She may as well have told him his car is on fire, judging by his expression.
Oh.
Oh? He opened his mouth, probably debating a question, and gave a short sigh.
Can I...
he began, knitting his eyebrows together.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes? Ladybug pulled her knees closer to her chest, cold from the stone stairs.
Did I miss an opportunity to kiss you last time?
Oh. Maybe. The answer came out easily. No awkward marionette attached to it.
Maybe?
Like, I guess? I don't know.
You were there too,
he laughed. Sugar and cookies. Why did he look so good lounging on some abandoned altar steps? I mean, I thought about it. The atmosphere. Not the kiss. I didn't think about kissing you at all. I just thought about if it was a good atmosphere, you know? Well, of course you know. You were there. His smile ate her heart. He was smiling at her like he loved her, and Ladybug wasn't used to it. She wasn't used to having a requited love.
You thought about it too?
Surely her face matched her mask. Like you weren't, she tried to say smugly, but it probably didn't sound like that to him.
So like...
He slid himself closer, his hips now touching hers. If her hair was down, it would probably touch him.
If there was another moment where we could kiss, would you let me?
Excuse me? Ladybug leaned back on instinct, regretting it instantly.
Would you kiss me back?
Would I kiss you back? His face was too close. Too close!
Okay, I'll stop teasing.
Cat Noir slid away a few centimeters, reclaiming a spot on the stairs to himself, but still closer than when they started. His hand stayed on her thigh. She hadn't noticed him put it there. How long had he... Teasing? You mean like this? She put her hand on his thigh, wrist arched in obvious mockery.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Look, Buzz, an alien! They laughed, but neither one moved their hand. They kept laughing, actually, longer than they should have, because they both knew what would happen when they stopped. Silence echoed as they settled down, the air touching her lips and filling her with static as she drew her eyes to his. This was a kissing moment. She felt his fingers flex on her thigh, and he looked down, leaning in before retreating. Was he... Ladybug had to know. She leaned in a bit and tilted her head to the side. He visibly swallowed, looking away before tracing her eyes with his. He leaned back in, holding the few centimeters between them for what felt like far longer than what it was. And then, unlike any kiss they'd shared in the past, pressed his lips to hers, turning the static to sparks. Anxiety no longer rested in Ladybug's forearms. Oh no. Something electric ran through her nervous system, but it wasn't something she wanted to medicate away. Oh no. This was far better than anything she'd imagined. Who knew this was a possibility all this time? Breathless, Cat broke away, looking at her like a boy who wasn't sure if he was about to get in trouble, but Ladybug paid the expression no mind. She wrapped her free hand around his jawline and pulled him back to her, warmth and magic leather flooding her senses.
Well, that was... well...
Cat began, freshly parted from her and clearly flustered from their shared experience. Ladybug was too, but she wasn't about to show it. Now, I believe we have a date to get to, she said, as nonchalantly as she could manage.
Oh, yeah, a date.
What, you don't want to? She teased.
What? No! Of course I do.
Did he not realize it was a joke?
But, this was nice too.
I agree. Her voice was soft. But I say we get out of here, because I wouldn't be surprised if Rena tries to film us for posterity's sake or something. Cat grinned at her.
You're already planning on posterity with me?
Ugh. She slugged his arm. Silly Cat.
That wasn't a no.
Ladybug didn't know how to respond any other way than rolling her eyes. Sighing, she stood up, stretched, and offered a hand to her partner. Let's get going, shall we? The night isn't getting any younger.
We're in Paris. We'll be fine.
And with those words, Ladybug set off on a date with the man who would be her lifetime partner. And to think, a few days prior, Cat Noir tried to paint a picture of what it would be like if they were in love. Life is funny that way, but it isn't an if anymore. Ladybug and Cat Noir were in love. Thank you so much for listening. You can find other Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction by clicking on these videos. Woohoo! Once again, thank you so much for listening to the end. If you've made it this far, don't forget to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and leave a comment. If you don't know what to put, you can type in "Life is funny that way" in the comments section. I will catch you on another video. Bye!